Hey people, interested here to BB3 Faction War. This is Meridian High City and Imperial Guard versus Space Marines. For the Blue Guard team, who's been naughty? Is it you, Lokyo, with a Lord Commissar? Strong offense and support fighting in melee begins with a refractor shield. Alongside, Wolfguard and their Inquisitor offensive hero with powerful control abilities begins in melee but can get specialized ranged weapons. And the Tenso rounds off the team with a Lord General fighting in ranged combat, begins with the retinue of stormtroopers really strong defense, and support can also add to the retinue already being shot at by the Techmarine of Gatts. This guy starts off in ranged combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair. Got the Space Wolves elite scheme here. Alongside Paranoid Kamikaze with an Apothecary, support hero fighting in melee combat by default, begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura, with the Ultramarines DLC recolored slightly. And rounding off the teams, already in retreat here, EbolaCola with a Force Commander. Very strong offense, fighting in melee, can also tank, disrupt and support, with some Ultramarines of their own, but not the DLC scheme. Scouts being focused here, which is the right thing to do. Sentinel can break their cover, I guess. There it is, gets around the back of them. They drop a model and run away. These TAC should be doing a bit better in terms of cover placement here. Now they get stomped and have to run, but they should be okay. Back towards the mid. Contested VP turning red with fast capping tactical marines. You can see the health regen aura of the Apothecary there, those green hexagons, and throws the heal on those tacs. They're as good as new. Now the Apothecary runs forward. Going to try and tie up some of those guardsmen. Might eat a stomp. Oh, eats a Hammer of the Witches. Inquisitor's starting ability there now gets in on the guardsman. The Sentinel does not have the stomp yet. Oh, the tacs have dropped a model. That was slightly unlucky for them, I think. Inquisitor, of course, starts with a plasma pistol, although plasma pistols, in my opinion, are pretty bad in this game. They need some more DPS on them, damn it. They do like 7 DPS. And yeah, you get extra damage versus heavy infantry, but so what? 30% of 7 DPS. Big deal. 1-to-1 cap very early on, but blue are going to grab the mid for the guard. Tactical Marines, again, not using cover too great there. I don't think they were in it at all, actually. There we go. Some heavy cover behind those rocks. The barbed wire here is light cover. I'm not sure how the game treats mixed cover like this. They have the heavy cover indicator, but it might be on a per model basis, I guess. Probably is. Sentinel needs repairs back there. Lord General just sitting and shooting. Could maybe be tying up some tactical marines there. Has lost a stormtrooper buddy already, and Mastercrafted Bolter is in for the Techmarine. He's going to peel through those guardsmen pretty quick with this, and can also suppress something. Maybe Ogrins in tier 2 or Catechins if they try to get close, that kind of thing. Catechins are on the field for all 3 Imperial Guard players. Well, soon to be for Lokyo. Pretty much see it, pretty much a mainstay of tier 1 for Imperial Guard, the old Catechin Devils. There's Kraken Bolts, messing up the Sentinel, does have the ground pound for Lokyo. Wolfguard also has the ground pound, the Tenso still without it. Maybe they got their Catechins up a bit quicker then. 484 to 447, back towards the mid. Techmarine falls over. Apothecary goes for the revive, has a a customized Storm Bolter in his hands. Gonna get the revive here, and levels to 2. It's quite important for the Apothecary to level up. I mean, it's important for all the heroes to level, but this guy's heal gets more powerful as he levels, which really helps, especially when you're healing allied heroes with a big bucket hit points or Terminators or something. Those tacs must run. It's double tax in the mid for Paranoid Kamikaze. Devastator's in play, there we go. Heavy Bolter getting some shots in. It won't suppress the Sentinels, of course, but will do a lot of damage. This thing might go down, actually. Double repairs on it, it's not enough. And the Catechins were a bit too slow there with their smoke grenade. Wolfguard loses the Sentinel. I wonder if they'll bother to replace it. I'm guessing not, knowing that they're up against double tax and the Devastators there. Devastators with Vengeance rounds, by the way, advanced targeting. They're going for artillery spotters. I thought maybe double Catechins, but given this map and how the mid can turn into a massive meat grinder of death, I think artillery spotters make a bit more sense than Catechins, because Catechins need to get reasonably close to do their shotgun stuff, and they're going to die pretty quick later on when there's tons of stuff here. Spotters can stay nice and far away and disrupt and mess with things. A dead Marine there for EbolaCola, who goes for a very quick tier 1. No power spent at all, but tier 1 on the way. On the power though is Lokyo. Have pretty natural powers on this map, 2 for each team. Here's the other red one, and here are the blue ones. Can be hard to hit them, but if you're aggressive, force off the flank player, you can get on them. Do some good work. Force Commander must run. Most likely going to see the Sacred Standard from this guy in tier 2, I would think. Perhaps a Chainsword and Storm Shield as well against the guard can do pretty well for you. Spotters pulling in some shells. There's their basic mortar shell there, disrupting. Can call in smoke shells, there it is. And also an incendiary shell in tier 2. Heal thrown out by the Apothecary. Done really well in the mid, Paranoid. Have they even retreated yet with these Marines and this Apothecary? I'm not sure they have. Amazing presence in the field so far. If they have, it wasn't for too long. Medical Sergeant up for the Tenso, can hand out medical packs. Stomp is up for the Sentinel. It's taking some damage though, needs repairs. Double tax though with their bolters, too much for the Lord General to stand and take. And this VP is already red. Some sneaky scouts coming in with a grenade too. And a Techmarine who must have gone down at some point because they've lost the indicator. Down goes the Sentinel. And there's a grenade. Ouch. That was like 6 kills, I think. Well done, scouts. Still on the power though as Lokyo gets all the gens down and maybe the node as well. They do get the node, superbly done. Really good time to bash power as well as the players get into their tier 2s. Whirlwind up for EbolaCola. You just saw the disruption on that blob. Couldn't stop the bash though. And that's the danger, of course, of going such a light tier 1. The enemy player can get on your power. It might be hard for you to stop it if they went for a heavier tier 1. The Sentinel barely makes it away with 3 hit points. Holy crap. But only 1 Sentinel gets to tier 2. I mean, it's pretty decent. Typically, they don't get to tier 2, those guys, in a 3v3. Plasma Cannon Devastators on the way for Gatts. Sit them in the mid and explode some stuff. Improvised explosive here. Wolfguard Catechins put that down. Can't get the wreck point, no. They couldn't decap that one either. Did decap the VP. Whirlwind in the mid now for all the disruptions. Scouts there spotting the improvised explosive. But that doesn't mean the player themselves have spotted it to target it. They'll target it automatically if they're facing it, but I don't think EbolaCola actually spotted it themselves there. They can be difficult to see because the opposing player won't see this icon above it, which is what you click to set it off. They'll just see the little box on the ground, which can be tough. 446 to 306. Primaris Psyker on the way for the Tenso. And Stormtroopers up for Lokyo here. I wonder if they'll go anti-armor to try and chase down the Whirlwind. Whirlwind is very central right now. Looking forward to see what this Primaris Psyker can do. Ethereal Wave can disrupt all the attacks, I guess. Inquisitor with a fancy special attack, which doesn't do much. Force Commander's in retreat now. So are the scouts. They got a decap though. Plasma Cannon smacks the Inquisitor in the face. Plasma Cannon is not going mid then. They're locking down this northern edge. There's the Ethereal Wave and the Primaris Psyker getting those basic attacks in. Getting the Earthshaker Helm. 403 to 306. Anti-armor Stormtroopers of Wolfguard are the ones that get the Whirlwind down. Nice and clean. These guys also have the anti-armor kit though. Good push up the south by Paranoid Kamikaze. Level 4 Apothecary. Looking at the power now. Just healed one of the attacks. Don't see any flamers though. No flamers. They're just going to bolter this thing down. Pretty good bash. Missile Sentinel here to punish them, but misses. Often happens with indirect fire weapons when they're in a higher elevation. They can overshoot. There's double Kraken Bolts now on the Sentinel. 20% more damage to heavy infantry with Kraken Bolts. I don't think you can out-repair it with a single guardsman, fellas. Down it goes. Plasma gun guardsman running now. Drop pod comes in with more tactical marines. This time for EbolaCola. And the Inquisitor is going to revive the Lord Commissar. Can they get all the gens down? I think they can. These tacks need to be careful though, because these fellas have plasma guns. They do have a bit of cover around the drop pod. More plasma guardsmen coming in. They drop a model. Lord Commissar straight on them with a power sword. No surprise in seeing this against Space Marines. No weapon yet for the Inquisitor. Oh, advanced healing is in for the Apothecary. Armor of the Apothecarian. Also has improved medical equipment to give him even more energy to power the advanced healing with. Guardsmen should be okay. More stormtroopers on the way for Lokyo. And we see the Tenso getting on the northeastern power here. Gatts is not happy about this. Where's the plasma cannon? Oh, plasma cannon's in base. Might get all the gens. No improvised explosive put up. The scouts do have their sergeant. They might get a nasty grenade here too. Look at that damage on the Techmarine. Ouch. Here's the grenade. Nicely placed on those catechins. Ouch. They just got their medical sergeant heal in. Primaris Psyker doesn't have the upgrade to make the attacks do more damage, I think. They got the Earthshaker. The Earthshaker is the one that has the suppression ability, I think. I always forget what the Primaris Psyker does. There's some disruption from the catechins. I mean, suppression is pretty useful. There's Ethereal Wave again. That's one of his starting abilities alongside Strip Soul. Don't get to see the Primaris Psyker that much. Excited to see what he can do here against Space Marines. We have a Predator tank on the way for Gatts in Tier 3. Tier 3 now for Wolfguard. Paranoid Kamikaze also goes. EbolaCola's already there with a Terminator Force Commander. Not sure what they're talking about in the chat there. Apparently Kamikaze's attacks were not firing or something, maybe. I always miss the chat while I'm looking at the action. Otherwise I'd miss all the action. Psyker still level 1. Artillery spotters on capping duty. No heavy weapon squads in the mid yet for the Imperial Guard fellas. Ammo boxes exploding. Bad place for the scouts to be. Look at that damage from the Psyker. Maybe they do have the upgrade and it doesn't show here, because his damage was nerfed in the last update. But he can get most of the damage back by getting the upgrade that also makes his abilities cost health. I forget the name of it. Grenade. Oh, faked it out. There's the grenade. It's a good one. It's a really good one. That was a lot of dead guardsmen off that. Stone Guard veterans loading in their Hellfire rounds to do some damage over time. Does work on heroes, but for raw DPS you want to be using Kraken bolts against heroes. But it is very useful for when they're retreating and stuff, or maybe hunkering down behind some cover. Here's the Predator tank of Gatts. Got the extra armor already. Retreat grenade there. It's a good one. Oh, it was 2 retreat grenades, I think. I think Gatts hit his own tank with their grenade, maybe. Space Marines should be able to get the mid back. Is that the same improvised explosive still there? There's the remains of the Whirlwind. Devastator should move up a bit, I think. Apothecary goes for the cap. Sprinting around with his armor of the Apothecarian. And they might get on the natural too. Scouts going after it. Don't cap as fast as tacks, but they do move faster. Trying to get contested power down over there. Assault cannon up now for the Terminator Force Commander. Hanging out in the mid. Lehman Russ on the way for Wolfguard. Lokyo's also Tier 3. Oh, now going for Lightning Claws, apparently. Did not expect that. Having to spend 30 more power to get that going. Can he still switch between war gear when you've got Terminator armor on? I imagine so. Not something that comes up very often. Tank pushes up. Anti-armor stormtroopers going for it. I thought the Apothecary was going to go and tie them up there, but just runs forward a bit, gets Hammer of the Witches, and the stormtroopers must flee. They did get the VP triple cap here for the Space Marines. Buffed up blob of guardsmen with the sniper rifle fire on my target for Tenso. Are they trying to focus down the Primaris Psyker a little bit? There's that Ethereal Wave again. And that basic attack is so good. It's not quite as good as the Weird Boys, but the Weird Boy does have that travel time. This is just like instant psycho lightning stuff. Seems painful. Seems painful. Lord Commissar with Bionic Eye. Giving him inspired determination. Lightning Claw Force Commander. Just backing off here. He can retreat. Not doing it yet. Going to eat a bunch of plasma here. There's the retreat. Grenade. Did he kill one guy? Killed one guy. Poor fella. Terminator Force Commander now switching back to the Assault Cannon. And there's the Lehman Russ going for Vanquisher for large targets. Will trade very well with the Space Marine Predator tank over there. They can't really stand up to Lehman Russes. But maybe with some repair support they can. Stormtroopers. Can you bash it? There we go. Time to run, fellas. There we go. Generators replaced. Some level for the Apothecary. He's level 6 now. Got a big fat heal to throw out. Terminator's called in for Gatts. Land Raider Redeemer on the way for Paranoid Kamikaze. And that could be the most important part of this match. Can the Imperial Guard destroy that Land Raider in decent time, or is it going to let the red team get massive authority in the mid and dominate? We have a Las Cannon Devastator squad for Paranoid Kamikaze. I assume the Psycho's basic attack is doing psychic PvP damage, which is pretty good against all this heavy infantry and those Terminators. Big fights kicking off here. That's a rocket run. Decent hit. Can they get the second run? The second run did not hit. Advanced healing for the Apothecary. But he's only healing one squad with it. Down goes the Predator tank. Lehman Russ doing great work here. Takes out a Terminator too. Great work for that Lehman Russ. No missile launchers, on those tacks? I guess not. The mid is blue. Maybe they can push with the Land Raider and take this back. The Lehman Russ is going to do a lot of damage to the Land Raider though.
Message received, sir.
Yeah, 2 Vanquisher Lehman Russes is a lot of damage for a Land Raider to deal with. They are going to have Techmarine support to repair it potentially, and there is one scout squad. But Paranoid might want to get some of their own scouts to help with that. Terminator Force Commander going back to Lightning Claws. What is he up to, this guy? 254 to 157. Satcom missile launcher doing some good work there. Still has that model lost. Oh, cancelled going back to Lightning Claws. Okay. Primaris Psycho got level 2, backs away. Then gets a heal from the Medical Sergeant, I imagine. Here's that Land Raider Redeemer. Flamestorm cannons on the side sponsons. Twin linked assault cannon and the multi-melter, not to mention the ability to retreat back to it, reinforce off it, and heal off it. It's pretty damn good. The best support unit in the game, pretty much. Here's some more Terminators. And that Land Raider Terminator combo with an Apothecary can be such a tough nut to crack in a 3v3 faction war scenario. Yep, Lightning Claws on the way. Not sure what this Terminator's up to. They don't have any resources either. Stone Guard didn't quite reinforce wherever they are. Oh, they're right there. They didn't set the Land Raider as a retreat point either. Back on blue team's natural victory point. Good push here. EbolaCola's Terminators on this side now. Calls some in. Does get a few Power Fist hits on the tank, and Scouts get the VP. Now they're taking big shots over from that Psycho and all this plasma. It's not quite in range to still shoot them though, the Primaris Psycho. Can they grab the mid? They are. Blue team will get their natural back. Cyclone missile launcher doesn't really hit the tank, but did some good disruption. Just saw Ethereal Wave. Not sure how much damage the wave does. Mostly there for disruption, I think. Like the warp fire, basically, from the sorcerer. You might do something. You might do like plasma cannon damage or something. It might be decent. Terminators get out of there. Who's down? Lord Commissar's down. Try to run at the Land Raider maybe or something. Got some Kashyyykin up for Wolfguard with plasma guns. They get some pretty damn good plasma guns. 1976 DPS each. 19.76, of course. I mean, Leman Russ goes down. Got too close to a las cannon. Manticore on the way, and Lokyo has a Storm Blade. And it's going to go straight to the mid, I imagine. Require my Land Raider and Resmi, says Paranoid Kamikaze. Where is he? Oh, over there. Should get revived, I think. There's Ethereal Wave again on 2 clumped up Terminator squads. That did pretty well, actually. Terminator Force Commander gets the revive. Still have no idea why they're using Lightning Claws against like 0 Ogryns and stuff. Maybe they just want to teleport in and terrify some stuff with Lightning Claw damage. Primaris Psyker again doing some good work on Stone Guard veterans there. That damage, that attack is quite painful. Maybe they do have the upgraded version. I thought it showed in the unit card when they got that upgrade, but I guess not. It is the Stormblade with the big old Plasma Destroyer. Can use an overcharge ability for even bigger damage, but it does disable the weapons for a few seconds afterwards while the reactors recharge or something. Uh-oh. Manticore for the Tenso, getting too close to double missile launchers, and down it goes. That could have done a lot of work for them. Bunker goes up in the mid. Cyclone missile launcher. Didn't do too much work to the Stormblade there, actually. Here's another one, though. Those are some decent hits, especially on the Leman Russ. Stormblade does have 3,000 hit points, so it's not going to be an easy nut to crack. It is pretty slow, and it turns really slowly as well. And I think the main Plasma Destroyer has very limited arc that it can move. Whirlwind on the way for EbolaCola. Predator tank on the way for Gatts. Still slightly perplexed by EbolaCola's Force Commander play. They've done really well with his Terminators, though. Here comes the Lightning Claw fella. He wants to smack people, wants to chop them up. Do you guys have missile launchers? No, there's a Cyclone missile launcher, but it misses. The attacks have no weapon. And level 4, I think they should invest in double missile launchers here, because on level 4 attacks, they're going to pack a punch. Probably wants to maybe get Librarian up here for the Force Barrier and Terminator support and stuff. Terminator Force Commander backs off the plasma guns. Here is an attack by Wolfguard. Rocket run. Oh, misses. Completely misses. Maybe the second run will get something. Not really. That's kind of a wasted nuke there. 167 to 91. Terminator Force Commander continues to act like a weirdo and runs away. Terminators trying to storm bolter down the Lord Commissar. Just got inspired determination on plasma. Level 3 plasma guardsmen. Doubling their damage, increasing their speed. It's going to be nasty when they start shooting. There we go. Lord Commissar can't stay here. That was a Plasma Destroyer hit. They do lose a Terminator. Whirlwind trying to disrupt. Needs to be careful of that big old tank, though. Can it disrupt them off the cap? Go on, Whirlwind. I believe in you. There's the attempt. It does. It gets him. Well done, fella. Back to the mid. Primaris Psycho backs away. Now has Diviner's Foresight. This is it. The one that allows him to use health instead of energy and buffs his lightning arc attack. A heavy turret and 2 Leman Russes in the mid for Wolfguard. The heavy turret, of course, from the Tenso's global ability. Missile launchers are taking it out, though. Does have vehicle armor. I don't think they can out-repair it. Down it goes. Stormblade hasn't really been pressured very much, and it's pushing stuff off the mid quite effectively. The mid is uncapped right now. Single here for the Space Marines. EbolaCola down to a single Terminator and a Force Commander Terminator. Getting a Predator tank now. Getting the VP back as well. Is this a repair bunker? Don't think so. It's not repairing the plasma. The Stormblade. That was a good shot. It was a really good shot. Advanced healing to heal it off, though, by Paranoid Kamikaze. any war gear for the Inquisitor. She has the Pergatus, which is awesome in a big team fight. Cyclone missile launcher time? Nope. What are they up to? Oh, they're trying to use it on the Lehman Russes, maybe. Here it is. Takes his step, widens the stance, and gets a decent shot. And then they teleport away. Okay. Has a Predator with las cannon? Not yet. Not yet on the las cannon. 1-to-1 for the guard. Going for the mid to get a 2-to-1 cap. VP lead of 50 or so. That's a good place to dump a plasma destroyer shot. There's the overcharge. Allows you to get 2 shots in a row. But is now disabled for 5 seconds. There we go. Not too bad though, eh? Inquisitor almost dies on the mid. Vox operator reinforcement from the Tenso there. And the Primaris Psyker continues to do some really good work. That lightning arc is painful. Especially now that he's level 3. Pushing is the plasma. I just keep calling it plasma destroyer. The Stormblade gets to the Predator tank, but there's an orbital and a rocket run up there. That was a well hit rocket run. Holy crap. What about the orbital? Forces a big retreat, but I don't think it's going to do too much. It's going to hit those guys over there. And that wipes them out. Ouch. Those were plasma guardsmen. Cyclone missile launcher. Stormblade shrugs it off with those 3,000 hit points. Predator tank on the way for Gatts. EbolaCola still down to a single unit now. Lost the tank there, as you can see. Power fists on power bashing stormtroopers. GG lads, says the Tenso. A double cap. And there it is. The blue guard get it. EbolaCola struggled a bit in the south. Over-invested in the Terminator Force Command. I don't think those investments really paid off. And yeah, had some rough fights against Lokyo. Couldn't really do much against this Stormblade. This thing was pretty awesome. So was this Psyker, actually. Let's look at his heroes. Level 5 Lord Commissar down at the end. Level 4 Inquisitor was getting an Inferno pistol. Wolfguard solid as always. The Tenso's level 6 Lord General with his full retinue. Is it full? No, it's not. It doesn't have the Commissar fella in there. Level 4 Techmarine trying to revive. Oh, he's getting revived by the level 9 Apothecary. Holy crap. I guess he shot up a bunch of guardsmen with his customized storm bolt. And of course, a non-leveling Terminator Force Commander. There you have it, guys. Big thanks to these players for taking part in a faction war. The Tenso for running these lobbies. It was nice to see this map again. It was suitably chaotic here. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.